Sebastian River Medical Center specializes in exceptional and compassionate emergency room care with all board-certified physicians and a highly skilled and professional nursing staff. They are fully prepared to save a life or to take care of a less threatening emergency. Their fast-track system provides prompt care for all patients as well as a compassionate experience for your loved ones. Modern equipment and the latest technologies are just a few of the benefits of Sebastian River Medical Center's emergency team. There are 14 private treatment rooms, each equipped with a computer for easier access by the staff, which expedites the registration process. And then there's the staff, a caring and compassionate team offering prompt personal care and constantly updating you of your status and treatment options. Call 772-589-3186.
Setting the standard for hospital care, Sebastian River Medical Center.
East Coast Clinical Services. You can see Lisa, Anthony, and Brian Monday to Friday for all of your lab work. They wanted to do something special for the community, so here on Wednesdays they offer a cost-affordable lab fair. You could have some of the following tests done for just $10 each. If you'd like to be screened for diabetes or checked for diabetes, that's a glyco-A1C test. It's only $10. A complete blood count to screen for anemia, infection, other diseases, it's only $10. A lipid panel, a comprehensive metabolic profile, the liver and UA test, even a highly sensitive C-reactive protein test, a PSA now to screen for prostate problems, a TSH for thyroid disorders, a ProTime and liver UA. They offer about 12 different blood tests for only $10 each on Wednesday. No doctor's script is required. So visit Lisa, Anthony, Bryan at East Coast Clinical Services at 777 37th Street in Suite A107. You can also, if you live in St. Lucie County, they now have a second location for you. They're located at 2401 Frist Boulevard, just the entrance to Lawnwood Medical Center off of 25th Street. That's East Coast Clinical Services. Make sure you tell them that Cindy sent you.
Welcome to Cindy's Health Beat and Where to Eat. Cindy Bryant is the owner of Indian River Publishing and Media Consultants. She publishes the official dining and entertainment guide for Sebastian, Vero Beach, and North St. Lucie County, and Heartbeat of the Treasure Coast, your local health, wellness, and fitness magazine. She also hosts 2 networking luncheons that bring our community businesses together. As the host of Cindy's Health Beat and Where to Eat, her mission is to make sure you're aware of the high-caliber healthcare providers within our communities. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Cindy.
And welcome to Cindy's Health Beat and Where to Eat on News Radio 1490 WTTB. And today, Jesse, you do have a mic, and how are you doing?
Yes, I do. Very well, Cindy. Good morning. How are you?
I am doing quite well. It's a beautiful day, and last Saturday was nice. We had all rain, unfortunately, but sometimes, we needed it, and it was kind of nice. It's telling us, do some work in your house and in your office.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful day. And today is a Perkins Medical Hour.
Yes, it is.
And we've got some wonderful guests in studio, including my good friend Jennifer Toombs, who's the marketing director for Perkins Medical Supply, who is a wonderful sponsor of Cindy's Health Beat and Where to Eat, as well as Heartbeat of the Treasure Coast. Speaking of which, you want to pick up a copy. It's in over 200 distribution locations, or why don't you check it out on the website, www.heartbeatofthetreasurecoast.com. You could download the most recent copy and read about the new addition to Sebastian River Medical Center, the Da Vinci robotic surgery system, and a lot of other great stories in Heartbeat of the Treasure Coast. Before I toss it to Jennifer, we're going to give you some things for your calendar. So get your pencil, and if you forget any of these, you can always call Cindy at 772-473-6107. So we're going to start with next Wednesday, which is October the 19th. Where has this year gone, Jesse?
Yeah, no kidding.
Goodness gracious. October the 19th at the North County Library in Sebastian will be a Diabetes and Nutritional Expo. And if you want any more information about that, it's going to be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., and there'll be vendors, there'll be speakers, and healthcare professionals to talk to you about diabetes as well as nutrition. And Colleen Sanders-Saminsky, who is a registered nurse, is putting this on. But you can call me, Cindy Bryant, 772-473-6107 for some more information. Then, on your calendar, we've got the Walk a Mile in Her Shoes. Safe Spaces, Walk a Mile in Her Shoes. And what is that about, Jesse?
That's right. That's when men step up for domestic violence awareness. They wear red high heels for the walk
That's right, and we're going to try and convince you to wear them this year.
All right.
And the walk is going to be on Saturday, October the 29th from 8:30 a.m. till 10:30 a.m. at the Indian River Medical Center. If you want more information about Safe Space, Walk a Mile in Her Shoe, dial 223-2399 or visit their website, www.walkamileinhershoes.org. We have on Monday, November the 15th, that's wrong. November the 15th is Tuesday. So I was just testing you all. Tuesday, November the 15th is National Memory Screening Day. And Bubs Baird at the Alzheimer's Parkinson's Association right here in Indian River County is going to be having screening hours from 10 a.m. to noon and again from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. And you'll want to call to make a reservation. This is really a wonderful screening for your memory, and it only takes 10 or 15 minutes. So you want to call 563-0505. That's 563-0505. And that is for the National Memory Screening Day, Tuesday, November the 15th. Okay, and again, I am going to toss this to Jennifer, my friend from Perkins Medical Supply, right after I tell you that, Sunrise Theater has got some wonderful shows coming up in the month of November. So I will come back on the air in between the great speakers that we have today and let you know what's up and how to get a hold of the Sunrise Theater. Jennifer Toombs, Marketing Director of Perkins Medical Supply. How are you doing today? And you go, girl.
I'm excellent. Thank you so much, Cindy. I could not be more excited about the show that we're doing today. I have two of my very close friends and people that I've gotten to grow and know very well over the past year. I have Diana Solomon from American Breast Care, who is our biggest advocate with our company, I feel. You could not find a more classy woman, a woman who is more dedicated to her position and who literally will go out of her way to do anything to help others and help our store and our staff, know how to better educate people in the community about breast cancer awareness, as well as what's out there for them before and after they should go through, such an event. I also have Lisa Clark, and we've been on the show together before, but this time's a little bit different, and I'm excited because, as I said, over this past year, I felt like our relationship has really grown and developed too, and I couldn't think of a better, she's a certified mastectomy fitter in our Vero store off of 60. And again, just very blessed to have her here as well. I think that the education we're going to get today is very key. One thing that has really inspired me throughout this whole year is learning about Diana's history. Diana has quite an extensive history and past, which I think proves where her dedication came from, her knowledge has come from, and also where her passion has come from. And I can't wait to share it all with you. How are you doing, Diana?
I'm very well. Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you for being here today.
My pleasure.
Tell us a little bit about your story, your history. I know that you've been involved in this for quite a few years, and also you have some pretty amazing bosses as well. Obviously, Jeremy's amazing too, but...
Yes.
You're
I am very, very lucky to be with American Breast Care. We have a lot of passion for what we do. We try to really listen to the women who wear our products, who have gone through the breast cancer experience, and answer their needs. And that's an ongoing goal for us. That we try to accomplish each and every year. So about twice a year we come out with new products, and this year is no different. One of the fun things that we did, which is in keeping with put on your pink bra and fight, is we came out with a wonderful pink bra that the ladies are using for that particular purpose. So things of that nature.
That's excellent. I know that being a part of Perkins, we have the Making Strides tour going on tomorrow, the event, both in St. Lucie County and Indian River County. So we'll both be there, in both locations as an advocate. We also recently were a part of the Pink Heels event, which had the 2 fire trucks that were pink that travel around the nation. And that was really amazing to be a part of as well. So to see other people that share your enthusiasm and your passion, and then for us to be able to be a part of it as well for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, it's truly a gift that I couldn't ask for anything more. One thing that you and I were discussing earlier, I definitely want to talk about some of your products, but you kind of surprised me with something you said, that not all breast cancer is found in the form of a lump.
That's right. And in order to really address the issue of breast cancer fully, women need to know that there is a very ominous type of breast cancer that is not in lump form. It is called inflammatory breast cancer, and it appears as almost a rash on the breast. The breast will become red and inflamed. And in the past, the mortality rate was near 95% because it really was not considered a breast cancer. If a woman is actually seeing this happen in her breast, she's thinking more dermatologist and maybe I have a rash and that type of response to it. So currently, with the broadening of women who know about this, including the medical profession, now the mortality rate is 65%, still too high.
But still better than, at least you're doing something to make it lower than 90.
Exactly. And really what we all need to understand is we need to know what normal is for us so that when there are changes of this nature that we can go for help and seek a more specific diagnosis. The other one that is also quite undetected in many cases is called Paget's disease. And it even has a different name. It's not called cancer, so Paget's disease. And what it is a cancer that forms behind the nipple of the breast. Mm-hmm. And again, there is no lump involved. It is a change in the nipple. Could be a sore, bleeding, of something of that nature, but a change. So I think probably the most important aspect for women to understand is to know what's normal. What's normal for me, and what are the changes that I'm seeing.
Right.
Wow. I did not know that. Now, I also heard that men are susceptible to breast cancer. Obviously, they're in the minority compared to women. Mm-hmm. But do you have any numbers or how many men are?
Well, it is
breast cancer?
Yeah, it is a smaller number. It is 1%, but the problem is that men are not looking for it.
Mm-hmm.
So again, if we're really considering early detection and trying to really find the cancer in the earliest stages, men need to be apprised of the fact that it's possible, not at a high rate as women, but definitely possible.
Now, again, is the testing the same for a man and the woman? That might be a silly question, but what should a man do to take precautions against this, especially since so many men are not looking for this?
Well, just to know it's normal again, and
right.
Doing a breast self-exam, seeing if there's any change in the breast.
Right.
I think that obviously men don't go through the mammography diagnostic process like women do, but certainly just to know what's normal and to know your body, to do a bit of a breast exam.
Right. Now, your company is pretty incredible. They have a huge background in this. There's a huge history to it. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about it? Because I like to hear your version better than what I researched.
We are unusual. We have two main owners of our company, Jolly Reckenberg from Germany and Jay Markowitz from the United States. Jolly and his brother Cornelius, back in the 70s, were in college, and they had a summer job making breast prostheses out of birdseed and buckshot.
That's what I read.
Cornelius was a chemical engineer, and his brother was a marketing major, and they just knew that there was a better way, and their mother gave them permission to cook up silicone in her kitchen, in her oven, and they started the first silicone breast prosthesis in Europe at that time, and with the success of it, sold it in Europe and then came to the United States in the 80s, and started to distribute through the country. The brother in Germany that stayed was Cornelius, and they had a factory there, and then they pulled straws, and poor Jolly had to come to the U.S. So he was the U.S. version, and we have it just a little bit different now because we're a slightly different company. Cornelius has since passed away, unfortunately, but we go back a long, long way, and Mr. Reckenberg is just the most passionate, caring person you could ever see, still wanting to be in the business, still wanting to help women after breast surgery. And our company is in Marietta, Georgia. That's where we actually produce our products and develop them. And he's very proud of it. So now we are exporting to Germany, which is kind of neat.
Well, and all of your products, at least the prostheses, are American-made.
Absolutely.
Made in America.
Proudly, yes.
Which is something that I think is phenomenal. That's rare these days. So nice to find something like that and definitely have it be a part of your life, something that we can, definitely endorse. How long have you been doing this?
Well, 1990 was a turning point in my life with this particular wonderful position. I was a lingerie representative, manufacturer's representative, and I was ready to make a change. And the morning that I started to make my informational calls to interview people, I wanted to go into corporate training, I get this call from a headhunter describing this job. And it was such a shock that it was right just the perfect job for me, I thought it was a hoax. I said, this is too good to be true. It can't be possible. And that was 1990, and I haven't looked back. So it's been quite a few years that I've been doing this with pleasure. I don't want to tell my company, but I would do this without pay. I mean, really, it's that kind of pleasure.
I know how you feel, but the pay is definitely something that's a little bit necessary.
Exactly.
The necessary evil. Well, again, I can't tell you how blessed we are. One of the things that I really appreciate about you is that you take the time out of your schedule to come into our store at least twice a year to help us with our promotional fittings that we do, especially during American Breast Cancer Awareness, month of October. And we have that coming up this next week. And, of course, very excited and blessed to have you be a part of it again. That's when actually customers, patients that are current of ours or not, can come in. They can schedule an appointment, of course, which would be a little bit more ideal, or they can just walk in and you get to spend one-on-one time with them. We have it at each of our locations, which I'll tell you about in a minute. But what is it that you go over with these patients? What is the most common thing that you've been seeing while you're helping us?
Well, I think as women that have gone through this experience, many women don't feel that it's necessary to come in on a regular basis. And one of the things that I see are women that are really uncomfortable with what they're wearing, because this is a very body-specific type of garment when you consider a specialty bra and a prosthesis, and it's very integral to your balance and to your health, symmetry of your body. So I think some women feel, oh, it's been 5 years, I don't need anything, I'm fine. Well, that's really not the issue. Breast prosthesis can be replaced every 2 years with Medicare and some insurance, private insurance. Mm-hmm. But bras really have to be replaced more frequently. The average bra usually lasts about 6 months without breakdown. So that's a rather frequent replacement, and I think many women don't realize that. So what Lisa and I see in the fitting room are women coming in with issues that can be corrected easily, but they've been living with it for several years.
Right. Well, I can't wait to get into a little bit more deeper discussion with Lisa and you to hear some of the more stories. But definitely, we're just very lucky to have you be a part of this today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jennifer. So this is Perkins Medical Hour. In fact, Perkins Medical Supply Hour on Cindy's Health Beat and Where to Eat. And we have a lot more to come. We've got more guests in studio. Jennifer's doing a wonderful job. Perkins Medical Supply, as you all know from week to week, I tell you, they are your go-to people because they are my go-to people for all of my needs, from Band-Aids to my walker to my cane. So stay tuned, because this is Cindy with Cindy's Health Beat and Where to Eat, Perkins Medical Hour on News Radio 1490 WTTB. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Did you know Perkins Medical Supply has 4 locations in Sebastian, Vero, and Port St. Lucie, and offers the most comprehensive medical supplies and services, as well as rentals? Hi, this is Jeremy. Perkins provides a true 24-hour oxygen service, wheelchairs, walkers, hospital beds, and mobility scooters, along with diabetic, wound care, and ostomy supplies, and the latest selection of uniforms and accessories. We accept Medicare, Blue Cross Blue Shield, and more.
Perkins Medical Supply, for the care you deserve.
For the past 30 years, the VNA of the Treasure Coast has been here for you, your loved ones, and your neighbors. With expertise, dedication, and compassion, the VNA team provides home healthcare services, including Medicare reimbursed and private duty nursing, home health aides, physical, speech, and occupational therapy, in-home companions, and personal transportation throughout the Treasure Coast. The VNA is also the only licensed hospice provider in Indian River County offering end-of-life care in patients' homes, local hospitals, nursing homes, and assisted living facilities, and the VNA Hospice House. The VNA also provides community wellness services such as flu and pneumonia vaccinations, no-cost blood pressure, blood glucose screenings, and speakers on health-related topics for local community groups. If you would like more information on VNA services, please call 772-567-5551. That's 772-567-5551.
And welcome back to Cindy's Health Beat and Where to Eat on News Radio 1490 WTTB. And today we have Jennifer Toombs, the marketing director for Perkins Medical Supply, in studio because this happens to be Perkins Medical Supply Hour. And speaking of Perkins Medical Supply, Jennifer, why don't you give us the addresses, because you have multiple locations to reach everybody in Indian River County, even the southern part of Brevard County, and all the way down into St. Lucie County. So give us those addresses.
I most certainly will. We're actually down in Martin County as well. That's where we service. So we have quite a big territory. Our Port St. Lucie location address, which happens to be our newest store, but we're very proud of it, is 10365 South US Highway 1. And that, of course, is in Port St. Lucie. It's right near the hospital, not too far away. And then one of our Vero locations, the main Vero location, which is called the West Store, is 4005 20th Street off of Vero Beach. That's where Lisa and I are located. The next location that we have in Vero is 3717 10th Court. That would be right by the hospital again as well, right across the street. And then our other store is in Sebastian, which is, of course, another great location. It's 13,000 US Highway 1, Sebastian, Florida. And it's right across from Walmart.
I know, so they're everywhere, so you can't say that you are not near a Perkins Medical Supply. Now, Perkins Medical Supply has been a sponsor of Cindy's Health Beat and Where to Eat since its inception, as well as Heartbeat of the Treasure Coast. Another great sponsor we have is East Coast Clinical Services. They're, again, my go-to people for lab work. They're a full referral laboratory. You can see Lisa, Anthony, and Brian and their great staff Monday to Friday, but on Wednesdays they're doing something special. They're having a health fair lab where you can get tests done for just $10 each. No doctor script is required. And I'm going to let Jessie, because I've been saying all these tests for over a year and a half. So I know that you have all the tests to memory, Jessie. So what kind of tests are we going to have for $10?
I don't know if I have them memorized. I'll try. The glyco A1C test, the CBC, the lipid panel, and I'm going to use my cheat sheet here. The comprehensive metabolic profile, highly sensitive C-reactive protein test, the PSA, the TSH, the ProTime, the liver NUA, the direct LDL cholesterol, and those are all $10 each.
$10 each? No, you can't. No doctor script required. And you know, East Coast Clinical Services has 2 locations to serve you now, right here in Vero Beach at 777 37th Street, Suite A107. And you can reach Lisa, Anthony, and Brian in Vero at 569 6000. Now, you can also, if you're in St. Lucie County, their address is 2401 Frist Boulevard in Suite 8. The phone number in Fort Pierce is 464-2441. So now you've got Perkins Medical Supply, you've got East Coast Clinical Services, and let me tell you something. Cindy's Health Beat and Where to Eat is going to direct you to the finest health people and providers in the area. Also, Sunrise Theater. I kind of teased you at the very beginning about Sunrise Theater. But you know, Larry Gatlin and the Gatlin brothers are coming up on Friday, October the 28th at Sunrise Theater in Fort Pierce, Florida, in downtown historic Fort Pierce, Florida. And you can get tickets by calling 772-461-4775. That's 461-4775. Or you can even buy them online. So just go to www.boxoffice@sunrisetheater.com. They're a great, great theater. A lot of different performers coming in November. Tickets are very affordable, so we've got to stop and smell the roses and enjoy some entertainment. And you can find that at Sunrise Theater in historic downtown Fort Pierce. I'm going to toss the show back to Jennifer because we have a lot more information coming at you.
Thank you. Okay, the next thing and next subject I'd like to get on is I'd like to talk to Lisa a little bit more. As I said, we've been on the show together before, actually talking about this exact subject. So, and that was my first time on the show, in fact. Yes. And we had so much fun. It was a fun, and you've taught me so much over the years working with you. You are an open book of information and willing to do, like Diana, anything that you can do to help the patients that come in. You go above and beyond, out of your way to help people, and it's a true blessing to be able to work with someone like you. I think that I'm very blessed to have known you and gotten to know you over this year. The one thing I wanted to ask you is, tell us a little bit more. Now, Diana was discussing some of the different products that are out there for people, and you know, when is a good time to come in and see you? Does it have to be after the surgery, or can they come in before the surgery?
Well, people can certainly come in before the surgery. A lot of times doctors seem to throw this at you and people don't know what they're getting into, what a prosthesis is going to look like, feel like. So certainly they can come in before and get an idea of what they want, if a prosthesis is going to be right for them, if they want to seek some sort of implant or surgery in the long term. It's also good to come in because we have something called a post-op surgery kit for right after surgery, something that you can wear for a few weeks if you have drain tubes. It's a bra that hooks in the front or a camisole so that you can not be moving your shoulders and possibly hurting your surgery site. Comes with a cotton fluff so that when you're wearing your clothes, it's not so obvious that you've just been through breast surgery. And that is something typically covered by Medicare and most private insurances. And it's time sensitive. You can only do that 2 weeks before or after your surgery. So
It beats then them making their own makeshift, which I think we've seen a lot of people
we've seen a lot of that.
come in with. So that would be excellent. So you're a great source of information and valuable information once the procedure has happened. So somebody doesn't have to be so afraid of what they may be walking into with you. Let's say they haven't met you before. What can they expect? What do you typically do? I know that you make it as comfortable as possible. You have your patients that will never stray from you. So what is it that they can expect and prepare for?
Well, when people come in, we just like to go over, there's so many different bras. We want to give them something as comparable as to what they were wearing before. Some people are very sensitive after the surgery and they need bras that accommodate that have no stitching or something to bother where the nerves are still sensitive. Just sort of depends on what they're looking for. If they're looking for something fashionable and fancy, Diana's got pink bras and leopard bras and all sorts of things that you wouldn't expect. It's not such a medical type, oh, here's your bra, this is what you're stuck wearing now.
No, and that's the one thing I think that we really kind of set ourselves apart from other places in that we offer such a wide variety of a selection, and it's not your standard, black and beige bra. Wouldn't you agree, Diana?
Not only that, but you have a wonderful, very discreet and private room, very feminine, and something where a woman feels comfortable in that she's not just out in the floor area. So I think that's another particular aspect that Perkins makes sure the privacy factor is very there and feminine.
Absolutely. Well, privacy and time. I know sometimes we will be not seeing Lisa for well over an hour, and we know exactly where she's at, because she's literally taking, especially on a first-time, consultation, she is taking every moment that she can to be with that patient and make sure all of their, concerns are met and any ideas or questions they may have are answered. What is the weighted bras? Now, why would somebody go towards that, and what type of different fittings and prostheses are out there for people?
Well, we have swim forms that a lot of people use, like if you're exercising, if you're swimming. It's good for therapy and rehab after you've had surgery. A lot of people lose some range of motion and things like that. They can be worn in the water. Of course, here in Florida, it's hot. Everyone wants to still be able to continue swimming and that sort of thing. We have swimwear that has pockets already into it, or I also have a tailor here in town that I recommend that will sew pockets into something existing you have that you like. I have silicone forms that they come in standard weights and a lightweight. I think it's about 30% lighter than the natural breast because we don't want to throw your balance off. That's the real reason for wearing it. You don't want to have your hip and your knee and things start affecting you because of the imbalance in your body. And we also have more for right after surgery, the non-weighted forms, just something to let your body heal. That's not so much pulling on you or something like that. It's a very lightweight, like a memory foam almost inside to give the shape and the appearance of the breast to be there, but doesn't have any of the weight to affect the body's healing process.
Right. I know you've been through some extensive training, and so I know that you know exactly how to custom fit every person that does walk in. Our bathing suits, I think, are neat. I love them. I mean, I wouldn't mind wearing some of them. So I think that we have a great, expansive variety of that. And as well as, like I said, the lingerie, it's nice to know that there's lacy products out there. There are, a little bit more, if you want to be more adventurous, products out there. But also still your very modern and simple forms, and stuff that we have as well. So there really is no limit to what you can get for yourself, so you don't have to feel less of a woman, you can still feel exactly.
That you have just as many options as you did before.
And you're kind of like an artist, because you've explained to me before how you fit people and customize, you're fitting towards people, and you want them to be symmetrical, and I didn't realize how much attention was paid to that, where your eye flows first, and how you want the person to feel not only comfortable, but you want them to feel as if they had their old natural form and shape back. And I think that that's excellent, as opposed to having, just a one-size-fits-all type of motive.
Right, to have someone constantly looking, or someone feeling always self-conscious that someone's going to notice that one of these is different than the other.
Right.
And that's what we want to avoid.
And these are covered by insurance. That's, I think, another thing that a lot of people don't realize. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, we always need a prescription from the doctor to bill anything to your insurance, but Medicare covers breast forms and bras, and Blue Cross, United, pretty much most private insurances we can bill. The silicone forms usually once every 2 years, and bras are available every year. So you're not stuck with what you get when it's worn out. They're replaceable, and they certainly should be replaced just to get the best fit, to get the best look for yourself, and for your personal self-worth. You deserve it.
I bet a lot of people didn't realize that even bras were covered. I actually, that's the first time I've heard that. So I'm learning something new every day. Well, now we have our promo coming up next week, which I'm excited about. And as I said, it's not too late to still sign up for it. We have it in Port St. Lucie on Monday, the 17th. We have it again in Vero at the main store with Lisa if you wanted to come see her on Tuesday. We have it in the Vero location across from the hospital on Wednesday. And we have it in Sebastian on Thursday. Now, one thing that I like about and appreciate about Perkins is that we have customized certified mastectomy fitters in each of our locations, which I think is very unique. It's something that I don't think a lot of people offer. So anytime you want to come in and you have questions, you can walk into any of our locations and somebody will be more than able to help you and take the time out to help you, just like Lisa is here. But if you wanted to see Diana on any of these days, again, it's Monday in Port St. Lucie, Tuesday, Wednesday in Vero, and Thursday in Sebastian. So this is something that we're looking forward to. Now, Diana, what is your most exciting moment about coming in to do our promos?
Well, because I represent the company, normally I'm dealing with Lisa and Carrie and Johanna and not dealing directly with the consumer. Mm-hmm. And this is my opportunity to really deal with the women who wear our products, the women who have challenges in fitting. And just as an example, Lisa and I have had some incredible challenges with women who needed to be fitted, and it took two of us to actually accomplish that in some cases. But with the variety of products and with the time and the patience that is needed to actually fit someone correctly, I think that's probably the most exciting. I come away very enthusiastic in dealing with survivors and thrivers.
Right. I think this is the time that, too, I think a lot of people maybe will come out that don't typically come in to see you. And I think that I've noticed before that this is the time that you have those special fittings, those special circumstances. I know I've heard stories about people who have had, either horrible surgery cases or maybe some specialized cases, and this is their time to really sit down with you and Lisa and
absolutely
have that one-on-one time and really get the true fit and the true form that they deserve and that they need.
Yes.
They can come in any day. They don't have to just come in for the promo. If you're not available, come see us any other day. We will have Diana's new products that she's promoting with us. But while she's here, it's nice to have two people there. You get another opinion, another set of eyes, just reassuring you that what you're wearing is the right product for you.
Right. What is the most popular product, do you feel? Do you think there is one for somebody, or is there, again, you have that tailor make for each, person?
Every surgery site is different. I would say that the seamless bras that ABC is doing with today's fashions and things, probably, there's several of them, but that's probably the most popular thing. Diana's company also does a strapless bra for all of your special occasions, yes, which they are the only supplier that has that. And, you have weddings and graduations and things where certain bras just don't work with that. So
wonderful. Well, I can't wait to get into a little bit more about what we have to offer in just a little bit when we come back.
Yes, this is Cindy Bryant with News Radio 1490 WTTB with Cindy's Health Beat and Where to Eat. Perkins Medical Hour. We've got 15 more minutes. Don't go away because we have a lot more exciting news. We'll be right back.
Sebastian River Medical Center.
Sebastian River Medical Center specializes in exceptional and compassionate emergency room care with all board-certified physicians and a highly skilled and professional nursing staff. They are fully prepared to save a life or to take care of a less threatening emergency. Their fast-track system provides prompt care for all patients as well as a compassionate experience for your loved ones. Modern equipment and the latest technologies are just a few of the benefits of Sebastian River Medical Center's emergency team. There are 14 private treatment rooms, each equipped with a computer for easier access by the staff, which expedites the registration process. And then there's the staff, a caring and compassionate team offering prompt personal care and constantly updating you of your status and treatment options. Call 772-589-3186.
Setting the standard for hospital care. Sebastian River Medical Center.
For the past 30 years, the VNA of the Treasure Coast has been here for you, your loved ones, and your neighbors. With expertise, dedication, and compassion, the VNA team provides home health care services, including Medicare reimbursed and private duty nursing, home health aides, physical, speech, and occupational therapy, in-home companions, and personal transportation throughout the Treasure Coast. The VNA is also the only licensed hospice provider in Indian River County offering end-of-life care in patients' homes, local hospitals, nursing homes, and assisted living facilities, and the VNA Hospice House. The VNA also provides community wellness services such as flu and pneumonia vaccinations, no-cost blood pressure, blood glucose screenings, and speakers on health-related topics for local community groups. If you would like more information on VNA services, please call 772-567-5551. That's 772-567-5551.
You can see Lisa, Anthony, and Brian Monday to Friday for all of your lab work. They wanted to do something special for the community, so here on Wednesdays they offer a cost-affordable lab fair. You could have some of the following tests done for just $10 each. If you'd like to be screened for diabetes or checked for diabetes, that's a glyco-A1C test. It's only $10. A complete blood count to screen for anemia, infection, other diseases, it's only $10. A lipid panel, a comprehensive metabolic profile, the liver and UA test, even a highly sensitive C-reactive protein test, a PSA now to screen for prostate problems, a TSH for thyroid disorders, a ProTime and liver UA. They offer about 12 different blood tests for only $10 each on Wednesday. No doctor's script is required. So visit Lisa, Anthony, Brian at East Coast Clinical Services at 777 37th Street in Suite A107. You can also, if you live in St. Lucie County, they now have a second location for you. They're located at 2401 Frist Boulevard, just the entrance to Lawnwood Medical Center off of 25th Street. That's East Coast Clinical Services. Make sure you tell them that Cindy sent you. And welcome back to Cindy's Health Beat and Where to Eat on News Radio 1490 WTTB. And this is Perkins Medical Supply Hour. We are talking to some professionals here, speaking of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And fitting right in with this tone is I want to talk to you all just briefly about Windsor Imaging. Now, Windsor Imaging is in Fort Pierce, Florida. They're at 1000 Virginia Avenue in Fort Pierce. They offer all year round, not just in October, but all year round. They offer $99 mammograms for women that are uninsured or just cash customers. Is a $99 mammogram all year round. They also offer a payment plan. So really, Windsor Imaging is trying to make sure that all of us have our annual mammograms. It's very important, and I know that our guests in studio will attest to that. Now, on October the 22nd, Windsor Imaging is having an annual free health fair where they're going to give out vouchers for $75 digital mammograms. More than 24 medical providers will be there with free massages, blood pressure, glucose screenings, spinal checks, free foot screenings, $20 flu shots. They're going to have a lot of things going on Saturday, October the 27th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. But the most important thing is that 30 free digital mammograms will be going out to the first 30 people that register for the event. So remember, October 22nd, 9 to 2 at Windsor Imaging at 1000 Virginia Avenue. You can call my friends there at 772-466-5033. 850. And I'm going to throw the show back to Jennifer Toombs, who's marketing director and friend, to talk more about Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So you're on now, Jennifer.
Thank you. I think over during the break, you said something that was very impactful, Diana, and very, very pivotal. And it's something that kind of registered in my mind. This is one thing that people do not prepare for. And you expressed it so great. Would you mind sharing with
Not
us
at all.
again?
You know, as women, we go along in our lives and we have life experiences of all sorts. We are educated, we are traveled, we may be of every level of income, but we don't prepare for this. And what happens is that it's such an onslaught of information that we get lost in that. And when there are professionals in the field who can help you, it really is worth your while to seek us out so that we can help guide you through this path. It's not something we've asked to experience, but many of us have to go through the experience, and it's always better to have someone who can guide you.
Right. And to know that, again, I think the resources are available to you, and especially in our own community, that we're very blessed to have that and have somebody like yourself that can come in and help us and educate us even further. One thing that I find very intriguing, and I'm always kind of very interested in knowing more about, is the enhancement process. Not every woman goes through the same surgery, and there are ways to make her feel more womanly. Can you explain that to me a little bit more?
Surely. Nowadays, especially with early detection, and that, of course, is we women who have brought ourselves in to have the mammograms, do self-exams, we are finding breast cancer at a much earlier stage, which means that there is an option of not having to have the full breast removed. That would be a lumpectomy. And in that case, there is various portions of that breast that is removed. It's the cancer and a wide margin of clean flesh, as they would say, around it in order to prevent it from returning. These women have just as much need for enhancement or a symmetry as those women have had a breast removed, and there are a myriad of products that are available to her that are called enhancers or shapers. That can actually fill in so that she can either wear a regular bra or wear one of our fashion bras that we offer that are pocketed. In addition to that, we even have something that are called prosthetic nipples, because in the types of surgery that can occur, that sometimes is an area that has been removed as well, and it can really be very obvious when that particular portion of the breast has been removed. So that there are many, many options for women who have had breast-conserving surgeries as opposed to someone who has had a mastectomy.
So you can actually find a form that will help shape you to what you were before without having to go through the full, wearing a full prosthesis.
Exactly.
And that goes back to becoming, I think, an artist still. Not only are you doing patient care, but you really are helping the woman find whatever her need is, true to her, even if it includes a nipple, to make sure that the eyes go down to the exact same spot on each side, and that, the woman feels like she is looking in the mirror, looking at the same person. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. And even when someone has had reconstructive surgery, if there are any unevenness or inequities between the reconstructed breast and the natural breast, there's help for that woman as well to be able to have full symmetry and to look exactly matched on both sides.
Really, would that be a shaper or a form as well? So
yes.
Somebody who undergoes a constructive or cosmetic surgery who maybe is not happy with the results, instead of going under the knife again, they can come in to talk to Lisa and find out exactly what's there for her. Wow, that's interesting. I had no idea.
Yeah, Diana's company has some new products that are fabulous with this. Shapers that really contour right to an implant that isn't exactly what you were expecting after surgery, and unfortunately it does happen.
Right, because I would imagine if you went through the surgery one time and you maybe did not have a result that you wanted, that you would probably not be the first one in line to go back and undergo that again, especially with the traumatic experience it could be. So it's astounding to know that there are products out there that can help you build yourself back to what you want to be and feel like the woman that you deserve to feel like. So that to me is intriguing.
Yes, it's very exciting.
Oh, your company is just great. So the other thing I have to ask is prevention. We all know some of the preventative measures, and that's the one thing that I like to bring to focus. Just no smoking, obesity, or some of the, just very few. Do you have any tips or pointers that you would recommend from your knowledge or background on what some measures might be?
Well, people, especially women, of course, ask me, what is the highest risk for breast cancer? Unfortunately, it's being a woman. that is the highest risk for breast cancer.
Right.
There are many risks that you can have and many things you can do. It's really a case of staying as healthy as you possibly can. My dad used to call it, you have a health bank, and you need to deposit in the health bank on a regular basis. The man lived to 95. I think he knew what he was talking about.
Absolutely.
And that's, I think, what we need to do. I don't think anyone is ignorant as to what the good living practices are to keep yourself healthy. It's just that we don't necessarily take it seriously until something negative happens to us. But it's something that you have to be determined to do on an ongoing basis, no matter what your age. Unfortunately, younger and younger women are contracting breast cancer. So it isn't just a disease of older women or older people, and I think that's to be noted. So good eating, exercise, good thinking, engaged in life, family, social connections, these are all very, very helpful in having a good, healthy life.
I got the social part down. No, I actually read that the earliest detection age was 61 at one point, and then now it's dropped. So women are becoming much more aware of their body, like you said, and I think that they're depositing into the health bank is something that hopefully more people will listen to and really want to contribute to their own life. Lisa, what are your thoughts? What do you see coming in, and what advice, if anything, do you have to give to people, regarding this subject and how maybe you can help them?
Well, my favorite thing is when my customers come in, like yesterday, and say, it's going to be 23 years.
Oh, that's
survivor.
amazing.
So that's, so many people have had this for so long, and they're still living their life, and everything's going so well for them. Just like Diana said, just being conscious of what your breast normally looks like, being aware of this, and not putting it off. Sometimes we don't put ourselves first, and I guess this is one time that you should.
Right. Well, and our patients that come in that have been survivors or have undergone this, they have a strength that I think you don't see in everybody. They probably have circumstances that they could be so upset over and literally probably stay in the bed and not be social, but instead they almost embrace it and want to come out and help other people and share their experience, and they live life to the fullest, which teaches us all a lesson. I mean, there's things you could be unhappy about, but after seeing some of our patients, no way, not at all. So Diana, what do you have coming up in the future? Anything new and exciting you want to share with us about products or?
Well, we're always working on new ones, and I don't have the information at this juncture as to what we're going to be doing, but starting January, I will have some new items for next year. We're always working on new things, so I'm sure I'll have some good news for next year.
Your items are just amazing. To touch on that one more time, because I still don't think that the point can be driven across even more, that you don't have to lose the fact that you're feeling like a woman, that you're still a woman. The whether it's the strapless bra, whether it's the leopard bras, whether it's the lacy bras, you have all of those products for us.
Yes, we do. And I think the most important thing that, like Lisa touched on, is that we have products for so many different situations that we just really customize that we have for that particular woman's needs so that she will feel whole again.
Excellent. Well, we have the Making Strides event coming up, and again, I can't, touch base enough that if you have any questions and would like to meet with Diana, she'll be at our stores next week. Again, Port St. Lucie on Monday, Vero Tuesday and Wednesday, and then Sebastian on Thursday. You can always get a hold of Lisa or one of our other certified mastectomy fitters at any time. Lisa's always making herself available. Lisa, should they call you for an appointment, or how would you prefer they go about this?
Well, we are taking appointments every half hour between 9 and 4. So if you have the ability to call ahead, that's great. We always try to work in walk-ins. It always happens. We'll be running the ads in the paper. Give us a call if you can. If you can't, stop by and we'll try to work you in. If we can't, we'll make an appointment for you later in the week or something that works with your schedule. So,
excellent. Now, if you wanted to go to the Port St. Lucie location, that phone number there is 772-337-4631. If you wanted to come to the Vero location where Lisa's at, that number is 772-569-3797 on Tuesday. On Wednesday, the location in Vero is 772-569-3798. And then on Thursday, if you'd like to come in and schedule an appointment beforehand in Sebastian, it's 772-388-5251. But again, you don't need to have an appointment. You can still come in. Obviously, it's encouraged that you make an appointment just so you have that specialized time for yourself, and there's no waiting. But again, you can come in literally at any time. So Lisa, tell us more about the swimsuits. That's one thing that I keep going back to, just because I can't believe the styles are so fashionable, and here in Florida.
They really have come a long way. I've been doing this for about 4 or 5 years now, and the suits get more fashionable and more fun every year. We have the tankinis, we have the boy shorts, the bottoms, whatever you're looking for. We have swimsuits with the sarong attached if you want to be a little more discreet. They do styles and colors that are the browns and the pinks, everything that's out right now, everything that's fashionable. I have a catalog. If we don't have what you're looking for in the store, I will certainly try to get it in for you. It's Florida. It's hot. We need swimwear.
And that's the best thing about our store, is that, it's impossible to carry everything on the shelves, just with all the different resources that are out there for people and all of the different products that are available to people to help make their life a little bit easier, especially depending on what circumstance they're going through. And it would be impossible to carry all of those bathing suits. But I know that they do have a ton out there, and they look like bathing suits I would buy for myself going to Hawaii, and I would definitely wear one when I'm going there. So definitely excited about that. Now, when somebody does come in to see you, what should they bring with them? Obviously, you said a doctor's prescription. You said insurance information.
Yep, bring their insurance information and a prescription. If you don't have the prescription, we can always contact the doctor and get that. Don't let that hold you up from coming in. But they just need to bring themselves and what concerns they have, what you need to be happy, something that you normally wear, so that we can put it on and see what you're going to look like in your own clothes.
Good thought.
What types of clothing that you're going to be wearing, what bras are going to work with what you wear.
Great thought. I would have never even thought of that. And that's one thing that I know you do very well, is helping, patients with doctors and getting the resources that they need, or getting the prescription that they may need. Now, let's say, and I heard this was a story, somebody maybe hasn't been seen by us or anybody in over 20 years. Is it too late to come in, or are there certain tests that they need to have done to ensure that they're going to get covered by their insurance, or should they be afraid of that?
Generally, anyone who's had the diagnosis of breast cancer should be able to get products covered by their insurance. The biggest thing is, it doesn't have to be the surgeon that did your surgery. Your family doctor can write a prescription for this.
Excellent. Well, good. Like I said, I feel very blessed to have, such wonderful women on our team and, resources for us. And I think our community is very blessed as well. So thank you guys so much for all of this information today.
What a great show, Jennifer. So prepared. And Diane's even wearing pink, Diana. It's so good. I love the color pink, and October seems to be pink month. And I'm getting a 30-second rundown from Mr. Jesse, my producer. But I wanted to remind everybody, too, that last week, the family jamboree, the big jamboree out at the Indian River County Fairgrounds, had to be canceled because of the rain. So they've rescheduled the family jamboree for Saturday, October the 29th. So mark that on your calendar. And this is Cindy Bryant with Cindy's Health Beat and Where to Eat, Perkins Medical Hour today on News Radio 1490 WTTB. I always close the show asking you to do me a favor. Reach out and help somebody today. Just a simple smile will really make their day, and you will not believe how great it'll make you feel. So I'll talk to you next Saturday. Ciao.
Did you know Perkins Medical Supply has 4 locations in Sebastian, Vero, and Port St. Lucie, and offers the most comprehensive medical supplies and services, as well as rentals? Hi, this is Jeremy. Perkins provides a true 24-hour oxygen service, wheelchairs, walkers, hospital beds, and mobility scooters, along with diabetic, wound care, and ostomy supplies, and the latest selection of uniforms and accessories. We accept Medicare, Blue Cross Blue Shield, and more.
Perkins Medical Supply, for the care you deserve.
I guess we got caught up in the crazy housing boom.
We had been in the house so long we didn't want to lose it.
What these people share is that they all got in trouble with their mortgages, and they all called a certified housing counselor for help.
Our housing counselor looked at our paperwork and she knew something was wrong.
She understood what needed to be done, and she helped me work it out with the bank.
This is a free service. Call the National Foundation for Credit Counseling now. Call 1-866-687-6322 or visit mortgagehelpnow.org.
After Sergeant Matthew Kyle was injured in Iraq, Paralyzed Veterans of America was there to help him and his family. National Service Officer Bobby Hager explains.
We help them to get all of the benefits they're entitled to.
Without the PVA, we definitely wouldn't be where we are today.
To help, visit pva.org.